Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Game Day with Heavy Cardboard, where we teach, play, and discuss medium and heavy strategy board games, war games, 18xx. I'm your host, Edward Euler. As you can see, it's just me today. Today, I'm bringing y'all Leaving Earth, designed by Joseph Fatula, go with Fatula, and published by the Luminaris Group. So welcome everybody watching live around the world, as well as after the fact. Before we get started, a big thank you to all of our patrons out there, all 767 of them who help support this show and make all of this possible. So thank you to all of y'all. Special shout out to Brian Garman. Say thanks for being a patron and supporting the show. Quick reminder, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe down below. If you think it's worthy of a thumb, I would appreciate that very much. And last but not least, if you want to join the herd and the other 767 folks out there, you can go to pledgehc.com, support the show there. Really do appreciate you guys doing that. All right, so Leaving Earth. Space exploration, right? Or simple math, a lot of it, the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be collaborative between you guys and me. We are going to succeed. I have high hopes for us. I am over on all of these solo streams. I have not had a success yet. I would appreciate you guys working with me so that maybe we can break that over. Today might be the day. So let's get into it, shall we? So, without further ado, Leaving Earth.
Of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. No single space project in I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space.
All right, Mr. President, we have our marching orders, so yeah, I guess that's what we're going to have to do. So the year, okay, it's a bit of an anachronism, I get it, but work with me a little bit, all right? The year is 1956. Mankind stands at the dawn of a new age, the space age, when the flying bombs of yesteryear will become the rocket ships of the race for tomorrow. As the director of a national space program, your country is depending on you for success in this great contest. You may be the first to create an artificial satellite, send a probe to another planet, or even put a man on the moon. Leaving Earth is a game about planning and managing risk. With even a single grand journey into outer space, you might claim victory. Therefore, it is your job to plan each journey carefully, finding the cheapest, quickest, and safest ways to reach your objective. But do not spend too long preparing, or another nation might get there before you. All right, so Leaving Earth. Obviously, it is a multiplayer game. Today we are playing it solo. It does play solo. Instead of a full teach, as I want to do with all of these solo games, I am going to give a pretty extensive overview as well as a rough idea of the components and everything, and then we're going to just dive in and get into it. So big picture, what we're doing here. The game takes place over 20 years. So as you can see, 10 of the years are here. We'll flip this over, and then will continue for 10 more years. So the game will take place over 20 years, starting in 1956 and ending in 1975, because math. 1976. Okay, fine, whatever. The goal of the game is going to be based upon our missions as they are randomly drawn. Now, in a solo game, we're going to actually try the hard mission as the rules recommend, which is going to be some mix of all three of these missions. The goal is going to be to accumulate over 50% of the victory points that are on those three missions. They could be something along the lines of getting samples from Venus or from Mars or from Moon and bringing them back, discovering life on other planets, putting a man in on Mars or on Venus, on the Moon, etc. They're going to run the gamut here, and we'll discover those once we get started. Okay? All right. So we are NASA, because, you know, kind of makes sense. So what is it you guys are looking at here? So we have our 4 potential spaceships that we may be creating here, but the actual game board is actually set up by these cards out here. We have Earth, as you can see here. Then we have various other ones. Suborbital flight, we have Moon, we have Venus, we have Phobos, we have Mars, we have Ceres, and then other places out here. We're going to be then gathering up various rockets that we have to research, as well as various probes and capsules, as well as possibly including various astronauts, along with supplies, to go out, handle missions, and possibly, hopefully, come back to Earth safely. However, we're going to have to research all of the rockets and thrusters that we may have throughout the game, as well as a lot of the main actions that are in the game. Space is hard and risky and dangerous, and so this outcome deck, which is pretty extensive, as you can see here. There are 3 outcomes in this deck. There are successes, minor failures, and major catastrophic failures. We will probably see all of those as we go along because, again, getting into space is hard. So what we're going to be doing, oops, I moved things around. What we are going to be doing, we're going to be using this little chart over here to factor in building up our spaceships and then factoring thrust vector, or not vectors, but thrust and payload weight to be able to then be able to move our mission from Earth out to these various places. We're going to be creating our spaceships with various rocket boosters, with various probes and capsules, and possibly with astronauts to go out and do that depending on what the missions are. Now, we do have a budget. This is the only game that I can think of in which we're going to use the paper money because it's thematic and we don't actually use a whole lot of the money as we go along. So we start the game with $25 or 25 million. So let's go ahead and get that set up. That's what we're starting with here. And as you can see, we have the inset camera set up over here to make things a little bit easier for us, okay? And yes, Omer, the chart will definitely come in handy, all right? As well as, and I'll leave this up to you guys if you want me to use it, I printed out this handy dandy little mission plan that we can use if we so desire to actually work out all of our missions as we go along. All right, so the solo mission says we should have a hard game, which is going to be 3 easy, 3 medium, and 2 hard. So let's go ahead and get into that to start. So I'm going to shuffle these up as best we can. We're going to get 3 easy, but those are out of the game at this point. The mediums will shuffle up. Oops. And bacon, Eric. Don't forget bacon. 1, 2, 3. And what did I say? I said 2 hards, correct? I believe so. So we'll get that. So there was no pre-planning in this. So you guys, there's going to be bouts of silence as we go through this. So let's go ahead and move that out of the way and our money out of the way temporarily, and let's see what we got. So we're starting with the easy ones. We need to put a man in orbit. That's going to be worth 4 victory points. And man to Earth orbit and back. Okay, that's one goal. All right. We have to do a lunar survey, which is worth 4 victory points as well. Reveal the moon location. So if you notice here, it shows that it's unexplored. So that's one mission. The final easy one is going to be a Mars survey, which is reveal the Mars location, which is going to be worth 5 points. Again, unexplored. Now, the game comes with multiple of each of these unexplored, and legitimately, I didn't look at any of these, so we're going to find out together what these are. The medium missions are man on the moon and back, just as President Kennedy dictated to us. So, okay, all right, worth 12 points. A Phobos sample return. So what does that mean? That means we need to get to Phobos, which is going to be up here, grab a sample, which is going to be there, and bring it back to Earth, also worth 12 points. And the final medium mission is working probe or capsule on Sirius, out here, also unexplored. Boy, this is going to be a tough one. Then the hard ones. Oh, extraterrestrial life. Sample of extraterrestrial life brought to Earth. We have no idea if it's going to be out there. So it's worth 40 points. But oof, all right. And the last one is man on the moon at the start of a year. So we need a lunar station, which kind of works with man on the moon here. Now, I'm going to be using my calculator a fair bit on this during this playthrough today. So you guys will have to bear with me while I do so. So let's see. What do we have point total here? So we have 55, 63, 75, 87. 87 and 5 is 90. Is that 100? Is that dead on 100? Let me check my math. 8 plus 5 plus 24 plus 8 plus 55. That'll be 100 points, dead on. So that means we need 51 points to be able to win the game. Well, if we find life, that'd be great. That'd be nice and easy, because that's almost half of it right there. But realistically, with 51 points, I'm thinking we get man on the moon and back at the start of a year right here. So, okay. So that's going to be 27 of it. So I like that. Well, we got to land on the moon, so we're going to have to reveal the location. So there's 31 of it. 31, 39, okay. Man to Earth orbit and back. Well, if we do the rest of it, that'll take care of that. So let's kind of move these off real quick. So we need, here, this is a better way to do this, I think. Can you guys, nope. There we go. So we have that and that there. So we're looking at 27, 31, 35. We need 16 between all of these. Well, you know, if that's possible. I don't know if it is. Oof, that's really tough. That means we're going to have to go to 27, 31, 35. So we're going to have to go to Phobos as well. Yeah, no Mercury in this one. I chose to take Mercury out of this. So there's that. Then we have to do one of those as well. You know what? I think that makes the most sense. So I think those are the ones we're going to go for. Obviously, things will change if we find extraterrestrial life. That'd be great, but who knows if we'll actually see it. So what we're going to do is I'll put the two that we're less likely to go after up here. And then we'll put the 3 moon ones up here. And let's see, man to Earth orbit and back, there's that. and then Mars and Phobos. This is going to be a tough one. We have 20 years to do all of this. All right, so there we go. That is our goals in life. Okay. So now that we need 51 points, we've figured that out already. All right. So now let's go and move this back over here. There, and our 25 bucks to start. All right. So I watched a couple of playthroughs. Now, I've only played this essentially twice. All right, so I am far from an expert on this, guys. But have a handy-dandy little player aid. Make sure I don't forget any steps. Plus, let's face it, the Peanut Gallery, your guys' job is to make sure I don't forget any things. All right, so start of the year for turn 1. We get 25 million. All right. Then, no start of the year missions. So nothing completed there. Then we don't have to worry about turn order. So research advancement. All right, so we had the various researches. To be able to get off of Earth, we need rockets. Now, there are 5 different types of rockets/thrusters available in this game. As we go along, we're going to want to test these rockets, hopefully without any humans on board, because they're likely to explode because, again, this stuff is hard. So we're going to have to research these as well as the various things that we need to do. So I think the early goals that we should be doing is we're going to be researching some number of these rockets. But let's try and be efficient on our timing of this. So what is it we want to do? So obviously we want to get a man to the moon, have him stay there at the beginning for a year, essentially, at the beginning of a turn, and then travel back home. Okay. We need to reveal the moon location, which might not be a bad idea to probe the moon before we send any men on it, because it's possible things might not do well there. We also need to have a man in orbit here and come back, and we can only explore this location with a manned spaceship. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and start putting together a ship. So we'll start here with that one because I like the look of the satellite looking one right there. Okay. Oh, chat's not scrolling. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Oh, I got to bring my camera up. I apologize. So there you go. The 2 missions that we're probably not going to be going after are going to be behind the camera. All right. So the first thing is we're going to have our first ship up here. Now, what do we want on our ship? Well, if we want to possibly probe it to be able to do a lunar survey, which we need to get into one of these 2 locations, we're going to need a probe. So let's go ahead and get a probe. Now, you'll notice that on this, it says it's a probe. It shows its weight in the upper left-hand corner, and it shows the cost in which to purchase. This does not require, you know what? Let me do this to start with. So here we go. So you guys can see it a little bit bigger. So the cost, there requires no research, is going to be $2 million. So we'll take our 5. And now, there we go. So we've purchased our probe. There we go. But a rocket ship isn't a rocket ship without rockets. But you can't get rockets until you research rockets. So what kind of rockets do we want to get to? Well, realistically, there are going to be 2 types that we want to start with, either Juno rockets or Atlas rockets. Well, let's go ahead and eventually we're going to need both. So let's go ahead and get the Juno rockets research. So you'll notice here that the Juno rockets, and actually, I'm going to actually completely switch to this so it blows it up a little bit. So you'll see that Juno rockets, these are going to cost $10 million first and foremost. So let's go ahead and pay for that. You'll also notice that it says start with 3 outcomes. Now, we're going to grab some of the outcomes. We'll shuffle these up. This way you guys know that I'm not stacking the deck one way or the other. So we'll go 1, 2, and 3. So we've paid our $10 million. We have the research. We've researched Juno rockets. We know what Juno rockets are, at least in theory. Every time that we actually have to fire a rocket, though, we're going to have to draw one of these cards, and one of those three outcomes are going to happen. So let's see, okay? So when we get there, you guys will understand. So let's go ahead and double back now, get back here. So now that we have the research for Juno rockets, we actually need to build Juno rockets, or purchase, as it were. All right, before we go any further, though, we need to talk about the fundamental idea in this game, which is maneuvering. So I would like to bring your attention to these numbers right here. If you're not watching at 1080p 60, I would highly recommend that you do so now, if you have the internet to be able to, the bandwidth to be able to do so. So the idea, the core idea in this game is thrust equals the difficulty, which is going to be this number, times the total mass of a ship that is going from one location to the other. So what does that mean? Okay. The difficulty to go from Earth to suborbital flight, which is moving from this space to this space, is going to be a difficulty of 3, as shown right there. So it's going to be 3 times the weight of my ship. Well, my weight currently is 1. Okay. But I don't have any rockets. So let's go ahead. Let's say we were to purchase 1 rocket, and I'll pay for these here in a minute. This rocket, and again, I'll go ahead and bring this over here so you guys can see. And because I move my things around, I can't just hit my buttons. There we go. It has a weight of 1. It costs 1 million, and it has a thrust of 4. Okay, so 4 movement, essentially, 4 power. But it adds weight for every one of these that we get and add to our rocket ship. So right now, our total weight is going to be 2 times the difficulty, which is 3. 2 times 3 is going to be 6. We need 6 thrusts to make it into suborbital flight. We have 4 thrusts. That's not enough, which means we need another rocket. Okay, so now our weight is 3 times 3. We now have 8 thrusts. Well, 8 ain't 9, so we need another rocket. Our weight is now 4 times 3 is 12, and we have 3 Juno rockets of thrust 4, so 12 equals 12. Hey, that's what we need to be able to make it into suborbital flight. Okay, so we know we need at least 3 rockets. So that's going to cost us $3 million. Okay. Now, I would like to bring your attention to this handy-dandy little chart right here. You see that math that we just went through? Instead of having to do that every time, what we're going to do, we have a difficulty of 3. That means that a Juno rocket can have a payload of 1/3. So our current payload is a probe of 1, which means we would need 3 Juno rockets. Oh, hey, look, if we would have looked at this, we would have known that's the case. Notice, had we researched Atlas rockets, it could have had a payload capacity of 5, but we didn't. We chose Junos instead, so okay, no harm, no foul. All right? Okay. So, we've purchased. We now have a legitimate rocket ship that is here on Earth, ready to rock and roll. But, before we think about doing anything, we need to consider some things. Now, I would like a little clarification from the peanut gallery on this, because I did a little bit of homework and I couldn't find a definitive answer on this. Arguably, a rocket ship requires rockets. It doesn't require a probe, meaning that is a rocket ship. Now, it won't do anything, but for testing purposes, in theory, I would be able to put this up into space and that be that. But I'll go ahead and run the risk, because that just seems a little gamey to not be able to do that. or to be able to do that, I should say. So instead, our rocket ship is going to be composed of a probe and 3 Juno rockets. So we've paid everything, and I should mention that a turn consists of, well, when I say it ends, when we run out of money, okay? Oh, okay, everyone's agreeing, yes. Yeah, the Kerbal, okay, so we can fire rockets by themselves. So if that's the case, we're going to hold on to our probe. We're not going to test the rockets with a probe because there's a good chance that these blow up, and I don't want to waste the $2 million. Okay? So, if that's the case, it's just a test rocket. So let's go ahead and do that. So, here's how we're going to do this. Okay? And one of the videos I watched actually came up with a pretty good idea for a solo game. So what we're going to do is there are 3 possible outcomes that you saw that I do not know what they are. So, always we're going to go left to right, roll a 6-sided die, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here we go. That'd be a 5, so it'd be this one. And, hey, that's a success. So we fired off this rocket successfully. Now, what we could do, that was a successful launch of that rocket. We can pay $10 million to throw this card away, or we could not, and then fire the next rocket. But if we choose not to, we could conceivably draw this card every time because we're going to shuffle these and we're not going to know the outcome or what the other 2 outcomes are. Because once you remove all of them, it's a guaranteed success. You have successfully researched that rocket. Now, I'm pretty, and I guess I should have mentioned that we're going to test these singularly. So there's that, all right. So I'm pretty risk adverse when it comes to this stuff. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pay the $10 million and get rid of that success. So the success is going to get out of the game. We're just going to put it over there. And now we have 2 outcomes left. But you'll notice that we now have no money. Oh, and I should mention that the rockets are single use. The only thrusters that are not are the ion thrusters. Everything else is single use. All right, so there we go. We successfully tested a rocket in 1956, and I could keep going. And in fact, nope, we're not going to. And the reason we're not going to is because every time we test one of these rockets, we're wasting $1 million, or wasting. If either of these 2 outcomes were either a minor or a major failure, then in that case, we need $5 million to be able to get rid of those outcomes. If they're successes, we need $10 million. So at the beginning of every year, we get $25 million, whether money doesn't carry over from round to round. So therefore, we used up all our money. We might as well go ahead and end it at this point, okay? Oh, that's actually a pretty good, interesting idea, guys. Huh. We could just buy 10 and pay for the failures. But the problem is, oh, as you draw failure, that's actually, okay. You know what? Peanut Gallery, let's do it. I like your ideas. Oh, I did, Omer. Don't worry. All right, that's a pretty good idea. So you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 10 million. That's a good idea. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that success and we're going to shuffle it back in. And we're going to continue testing the Junos. So I'm shuffling. Well, you guys can see me. There we go. So there we go. We're going to continue testing. We know one of those is a success, and hopefully we fail on a couple of these. So here we go. So 4, so that'd be this one. That's another success. We're not going to remove it, but that was that Juno. We'll do it again. It's possible that all 3 of these are successes. See, this is why I don't like doing it. All right. We're going to buy 3 more. Well, you know what? We'll buy them one at a time to a max of 3. How's that? Save us a little bit of time. Okay. Another Juno? Juno? Exactly, Vincent. You know what? I agree with you, but listening to the peanut gallery, so okay. All right. I'm going to go one more, and that's it. Welcome, Borgasol. Oops, accidentally flipped one. There are more. Yeah, I don't know. I have not studied it intentionally. Okay, that's what, 6 straight? So I'm willing to roll the dice that all of those are successes on the Juno rockets. So we have spent a total of 3 more million, and all our Junos are gone. So we're at 7 million at this point. Now we have $7 million left over. Now, we have an unlimited supply of storage, if we would like. So we have 7 million. All of the researches are going to cost 10 million. So let's see. Well, I know at some point we're going to need a Vostok capsule. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get one of those as well. Because for re-entry, for getting our men back to Earth. So that's going to be 2 million. We have 5 million left. And we don't want to save it because it does not carry over from round to round. So what's the peanut gallery say as far as what should we purchase here? I mean, we could buy 5 Junos. We could buy some supplies. We could hire astronauts and have them on board. Oh, shoot. The Vostok does need tech. I apologize. Thank you. Good catch. That's right. Landing, re-entry, etc. So we can't even buy that. So we're still at 7 million. So we're going to be buying a bunch of rockets, I think. We could hire out. We are eventually going to need a man to be able to do things, but we don't need him right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and get 7 Junos. I think so. 1, 2. Oh, that's actually a fair point. We could just launch it, couldn't we? I didn't even think about that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, you know what? Before we buy all those, let's start mathing. So let's look at what we need here, right? The lunar survey requires surveying, which is 10 million. We don't have that, but we could always launch it and get it going and then survey once we get there, because we need to get at least to lunar orbit. All right. So the best way that I know how to do this, using the little mission planner, and I'm going to work this out, is our final destination with our probe is going to be the lunar orbit here. To be able to do so, we have to get from Earth, which is going to be 3 to get the suborbital, 5 to get into Earth orbit, and then 3 to get into lunar orbit, okay? Oh, actually, I stand corrected. Nope. To be able to survey, I have to get out. No, either one. No, I cannot. Not here. Here I can. No, I can and do both. Yeah. Well, yeah, let's get to lunar orbit and do it from there. So it's going to take 3, 5, another 3 to get there. So the last 3 that we're going to need are going to be to get into lunar orbit. So I'm going to show you guys this once I'm done writing all this up. So lunar orbit, to get in there, is going to be a 3 difficulty. Okay. Then to get into Earth orbit is going to be a 5 difficulty. And then to get from Earth to suborbital is going to be a 3 difficulty there. All right. Now, I don't need this to come back. This can just go there and hang out. I don't need it to come back because I think it would be more expensive. Would it? 3? Actually, it wouldn't. And we could actually test re-entry. No, we can't. Not with that one, we can't. There's no it's free. It would cost 3. I think. Yeah, I think we're just going to leave it up here and get rid of it up there in lunar orbit to be able to do the lunar survey. Because what we will be able to do later on is rendezvous possibly with it and be able to send it out to, where is it? We got to get to Mars. So Mars orbit to be able to possibly survey that, provided it succeeds. So why don't we go with that? So the payload mass is going to be, let's see, when it gets to lunar orbit is going to be 1. So it's going to need, to be able to, for the rockets, it's going to require to get from, it's going to be a difficulty of 3, a payload of 1. So that's going to require us 3 Juno rockets to make it there. Then the payload mass when we get to Earth orbit is going to be actually 4. So it's going to be a difficulty of 5, which we can't make it there. That's right. Yep. And that's what I just figured out. Magic. Well, the problem is then we waste our 7 million. There's no reason to launch it, honestly, because we can't make it. So we're just going to buy 7 Juno rockets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So take my word for it that there's 7 there. That's going to be all 7 million. Right? Seriously, I wish SpaceX was available to be able to subcontract this. That'd be great. Yeah, I don't want to show you guys that until we're done. So that's it. That's the end of the first year. We are moving now. Make sure I didn't. There. Yep, easy enough. All right, so we get our 25 million again. Because it's a new year for funding. Okay. So what do we need? Well, we know we're going to need, let's see. To be able to, for lunar orbit, for Earth orbit, it's going to be a difficulty of 5. It's going to require 2 Atlas rockets to get to there. So what do I do with my pen? Hold on. And Atlas rockets, that's going to be 8. So that's going to be 12. Difficulty of 3 and 12. We may actually also need the Soyuz. I think we spend the early game just getting our rockets through. Yep. Let's go ahead now. We'll go ahead and spend the 10 million. And we'll go ahead and get Atlas rockets. So we're at 15 million. We're going to go ahead and purchase 1 Atlas rocket, which is going to be 5 million. We're going to get 3 outcomes. 1, 2, 3. And let's go ahead and test our Atlas rocket, shall we? Just the rocket. Same roll results, so here we go. 5, it's going to be this one. Oh, we have a minor failure, kaboom. $5, remove after the effects. So the Atlas rocket failed on liftoff. Okay, not the end of the world. That goes away, but we'll spend the $5 million. So there. And the good news is we get rid of that minor failure. So there's that. So at this point, we're going to purchase one more Atlas rocket, but we're not going to test it. That's going to cost us the last all right. Yeah, no, I don't think I can, guys. Well, okay. The minor, the minor failure. Hold on. Doesn't matter if it destroys it or not. They're one-time use, and the whole point of testing the rocket is to get those out of the way. All right, there we go. Yes, I could do it here at the flyby. So it would require 3 to get there, 5 to get there, and then 1 to get there as opposed to 3. The problem is I can't get into Earth orbit with the Junos. A moment, guys. Okay. Oh, then I'm making this harder than it needs to be. I understand now what you're saying now, Omer. I apologize. Let me, I'm getting it on the, in the rule book. A moment. Oy vey, come on. I have made this way harder on myself than the heavy cardboard variant, right? Okay. Rocket is damaged, provides no... Fair enough. Fair enough. You're right. Okay. That's, yeah, seriously. Always making it harder. Never even occurred to me. Yeah, you're right. All right. So I didn't waste it. So give me that 5,000 back, or 5 million back. So our Atlas here falls back, it's damaged, or it failed to launch, if you will. So, okay. So now we have a decision to make. Huh. Hey, Joseph. How's it going? Apparently, I've been playing this way harder with the rockets, with minor failures. What do we do with the last 5 million? We're going to need another. I know it says it, but it just, because they're single use, right? But they're not, because no thrust. So, okay, fair enough, fair enough. I'm just debating whether or not to, yeah, what should we do with the last 5 million, guys? No, I actually didn't. It's right here. I took it back, Eric. I mean, it automatically repairs at the end of the year, but I don't want to waste the 5 million. I could buy a second Atlas just to have it for testing for next year. I think so. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll buy another Atlas for the 5 million. But I don't want to test it because we have no money left. So I'm not going to bother with that. So we're going to call that the end of the year. So we're going to go into 1958. Our Atlas is repaired. So we now have 2 Atlases and we have 2 outcomes left. 25 million. So why don't we start off by testing our Atlases, shall we? All right. Yep. Well, there you go. I think sounds like chat agrees. So we'll go ahead and test these one at a time. So there's 1. So 1 through 3, 4 through 6 there. There's a success. I think this one's worth removing. What do y'all think? You know what? I'm just going to. I'm going to pay the 10 million to get rid of the success. Then I'm going to, and that was, that Atlas goes away. I'm going to test it again. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's going to be this. And a minor failure. So we'll spend the 5 million to get rid of it. It damages the Atlas. But hey, guess what? We have mastered the Atlas rocket. Okay? Take care, Eric. So, what's that mean? These will never fail again. Our Atlases are a guaranteed success at this point. That seems pretty good. Okay? I'm pretty happy with that. So 1958, we already have the Atlas rockets mastered. And I feel pretty good that the Junos, in 6 chances, all successes, I like our chances with it. Okay? All right. So, that was pretty good. So working our way backwards, as I was talking about earlier. So we would need, let's see, a difficulty of 5 with 4. We would need the Soyuz to be able to easily do the lunar orbit, or the lunar survey. So, it's a little boring, I understand, but let's go ahead. Yeah, we're going to need them anyways. So let's go ahead and purchase the Soyuz as well for the 10 million. That comes with 3 outcomes as well. So 1, 2, 3, there. Five and 4. Oh, I guess we could with 2 Atlases, couldn't we? I guess we could. You guys think we ought to skip the Soyuz, huh? Really? All right. I'm gonna go with what the peanut gallery is suggesting. We'll go for the Saturns instead. Still costs 10 million, same 3. So there you go. All right. So boom, done. End of the year. We have no rockets. We have no money. Well, we do have the Junos, but our Atlas, that's it. So we're going in 1959. We now have there, and we get our 25 million again. Hey, compy. All right. So there's our 25 million. I think we ought to test out the Saturns. It's on one of them, yes, Todd. Test out the Saturns and get going, I think, because once we do that, I think we're in real good shape. That's actually a fair point, Joseph. By the way, is it Joseph or Joe? So the Saturns, here we go. We're going to test these bad boys. So the only problem is cost 15 million. That's the downside. Yeah, let's just do it. Bite the bullet. 15 million gone. So we have our first Saturn rocket. We're going to test this bad boy. Let's go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Success. Pay the 10 million and get rid of it, because, yeah, there we go. So there's the 10 million. The success is gone. We'll leave that out there. Our Saturn rocket launched successfully. I feel like I'm being a little too cautious, though. But let's move it into 1960, get our 25 million. Okay. I think I'm going to stay on target. I'm going to buy one more Saturn, spend the 15, test it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another success. Ay. Yep. Told you I'm risk adverse. There, 25 million. We'll pay the 15 for the Saturn. There. And the outcome. Another success. Well, that one's free at least. So, there we go. Our Saturn rockets are completely tested. Our Atlases are completely tested. There we go. No, the budget never goes up. I could, Joseph, but I'm not a sicko. I can't do that. I can't. So there we go. We have 10 million. So here we go. We have Atlas and Saturn rockets perfectly perfected. We have our Junos, which I feel pretty good are going to be successes here. All right. So now the question is, we have 10 million. What do we know we need to do? We know we need to survey. We know we're going to need a lot of those things. I'm not a gambler. I'm a poker player. Positive EV. Yeah, let's go ahead and purchase the surveying now, which that's going to be our last 10 million. And here we go in 62. We're going to finally be able to actually do something. End of the year, we get our 25 million. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So now that we have Junos and Atlases and Saturns, so at a mass of 12 and a difficulty of 3, it would require, well, a Saturn is a bit of overkill, but I guess that's what we're going to do. All right. All right. So Saturn is 20. So that's 30, 20, yeah, so 32. Okay. All right, so here we go. What do we need to purchase to be able to get our stuff going? We need, well, the Saturn is going to be 15 million. So there's 5 of it. 5 back, I should say. So here we go. We have our probe. And now what I'm going to do is show you guys this working backwards. And yeah, there we go. Okay. Moment, let me look at something. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm willing to take the risk. Okay. Oh, only one outcome. Sorry. Yep. Habit. Thank you. There we go. Fixed. Okay. I can't do it, Compy. All right, so make sure, maybe my math is wrong. So let's see. If I have a Saturn, which has a thrust of 200, which is going to be plenty to be able to get off the planet. So working our way backwards. To get into lunar orbit, oh, I guess I could do it all in one, right? I guess that's the case. Because if so, then I just wait until 63 when I can afford the other Saturn. Okay, so let's see. So if we're going, all right, working our way backwards. Moon. Now, are you, wow. So, Joseph, are you saying to including the man on the moon? Or are you talking just this and that? Wow, that would, wow. Ah, it wouldn't work. Yeah, that wouldn't work. Because I have to get all of those, assuming there's no extraterrestrial life out there. So let's see. Now, what I could see doing is the survey and the survey all in one fell swoop. Ah. My fear is what this moon card is. I don't want to land a man on the moon and have him die. That's my apprehension. My original plan was to do the moon and then Mars survey all in one. So that's essentially, this would be 3 ships is what I'm thinking. Is lunar survey, Mars survey for 1 ship, a man on the moon for these 3, and then 1 for Phobos. Yeah, no, I'm thinking 3 different ships. I'm going to stay on target. So here we go. So 1 really big survey team. Okay, so working backwards and leaving it here in Mars. So to get to Mars, that's going to require, oh, so if I'm, let me scratch that out. So Mars orbit would be 4. So 4 difficulty to get into there. And the payload would be 1. which would be a Juno rocket, which has a mass of 1. Okay, so it gets us to here. To get to here, coming from Earth orbit is going to be 3 to get into the inner. So it's going to be a 3 for inner planet. And that's going to be a weight of 2. So that's going to be a difficulty of 6. Or difficulty of 3, needs a 2, so that'd be 1 Atlas. And the Atlas weight is going to be 4. Oh shoot, I totally missed that. I'm making this way harder. So the Mars flyby, because I don't care if it's lost, it will have done its job at that point. Let's try this again. You know what? Let's just flip it over. Start over. Here we go. My bad, guys. Sorry. So the Mars flyby. To get to the Mars flyby is going to be right here. It's going to require a difficulty of 3. Sorry. Okay. Which, that's going to have a payload mass of 1. It's going to be a Juno rocket, which has a mass of 1 to get to there. So to get to Earth orbit is going to come from lunar orbit. Lunar orbit is going to require 3 difficulty. Payload mass of 2, so difficulty there, so that's going to be an Atlas, which is going to be a mass of 4. So then, to get into lunar orbit is going to come from Earth orbit, which is going to be a difficulty of 3, with a mass payload of 5, which is going to be an Atlas and a Juno, which is going to be 4 and 1 as 5. I'm writing all this. Give me a second, guys. So let's see. Coming from here, there, coming back here. So to get into Earth orbit is going to require 5. That's going to be 11. Difficulty of 5 with 11 would be 1 Saturn, which Saturns have a weight of 20. And then to get into suborbital is going to be difficulty of 3 with a weight of 31, which is going to be 1 Saturn. And I'll show my work here in a moment. All right. So double check. Here we go. Okay. So what I will do now, I'm going to switch between the cameras a little bit. Okay. So if my math is right, to get off of Earth, we need, no, work our way backwards. We'll do it the same way. So to get into Mars, it's going to Mars flyby is going to be a difficulty of 3. A difficulty of 3 with the probe is going to be a weight of 1, which says Mars flyby difficulty there, and so it only requires a Juno because a Juno can have a payload of 1, so it only requires 1. So then from there, to get there is from here. To get to Earth orbit is going to come from lunar orbit. So that's going to require a difficulty of 3, but that's going to be a payload of 2, which is going to be an Atlas rocket with a weight of 4. So does all this look right so far? That's to get into there. Is my math off? Oh shoot, it is, because the actual rocket to get it there. It is. My math is all messed up. Yeesh. And that's why we double check it. Make sure we're not using metric when other people are using what is it? What was the when they missed Mars? Which mission was it? Oh, I guess if I'm going that way. Okay. 3, 3, so that's going to be there. I think my math still checks out, right? Okay, there you go. So, double check my work then. Make sure that still works out, doesn't it? There's 70 of y'all, there's 1 of me, so double check it real quick. So, we will need 2 Saturns, 2 Atlases, and 4 Junos, if I'm doing my math right. We have 1 Saturn, 1 Atlas, and all the Junos. So we need a Saturn and an Atlas, and we can do that. Metric versus imperial, that's it. Thanks, Matt. So we need a Saturn and an Atlas. All right. So that's going to require 20 million. Oh, shoot. Thank you. That's where. So if that's the case, then that's going to be 6. That's going to be 10. That's going to be 15. And that'll be 35. There. Ah, see, you're messing me up, Homer. Had it right. 1, 2, 6, 11, 31. Sheesh. Yeah. Hey, vey. The joys of doing this live on camera. Here we go. So it's going to be a payload mass of 1, rocket mass 3, so that's going to be 4. 4, that's going to be 8, 13, and 33. So now, let's take a look. So 3, needing 4, so we're still good with the Atlas. 3, so 3 and 8. 3. Okay. Let's see, 3 and 8. That won't work now. So the lunar orbit one is 3 and 8. It's going to be 2 Atlases instead of an Atlas and a Juno, so that's going to change everything. So Atlas times 2. Hey, vey. So that's actually going to be 8 in weight instead of 5. So that's going to be 16. Five and 16. We're still good with the Saturn. And then 16 and 20 is going to be 3. We're still good. All right, so that was the only change. There we go. So we got 3 Junos, an Atlas, 2 Atlases, a Saturn, and a Saturn for each of those. Okay? All right, so I know that's right now. I'm good. I feel confident about that. So now looking at this, so here we go. We got our probe. We need 3 Junos for the last one. That's going to be there. Then we need 1 Atlas. There. Then we need 2 more Atlases, which we don't have. The Atlases are 5 million apiece. We need 2 more. So there's that. So that's going to be 2 Atlases there. Then we need a Saturn, which, oops, you guys can't see that. I apologize. I'm going to move this up. So we have our probe, 3 Junos, an Atlas, then 2 Atlases, then a Saturn, and then we need 1 more Saturn to be able to make it all the way. Okay, so that's it for the year. Now we're finally ready to launch. Finally. 25 million, which we need to buy 1 Saturn, which is going to be 15, so we get 10 million back. There. And there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages to be able to get there. Okay? So that will get us from Earth to suborbital to Earth orbit to lunar orbit to then survey to then come back to Earth orbit to then get to Mars flyby to then survey Mars as well. Now, somebody had mentioned earlier when I go through suborbital to explore. I can't because it requires manned flight, and this is not going to be a manned flight. Okay? And I still have 4 Junos left over. Okay? That would be a really, really, really big ship. Yeah, Yeah, bite your tongue, Andy. Bite your tongue. To maximize payload, you should load 20 payload with 2 Saturns to orbit. I'm not understanding, Yanni. Man, you guys have no faith. You have no faith. All right. Because we're not going to rendezvous, and we really don't need the need, so we're not even going to bother with that. I don't see the point to do that. So instead, I think we're going to pull the trigger. You know what? This feels more like a probe to me. It's already out there and the cards are there. So be it. All right, let's do this, shall we? All right. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Horrible people, all of you. All right. Do we do a countdown? Okay. I know. Yeah, he wants. I'm not going to though. Oh, okay. The survey of the solar radius. Oh, right. I do have to because of that. Yes. Good call. And we have the 10 million to be able to, I guess we only need the 5 million for the survey, right? Yep, we have 10. In case, don't worry, Joseph, was looking for that, okay? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. So, first one gets us into suborbital. There goes the first Saturn, and it's already been completely tested, so that was safe. We have our first successful Launch. Yay! Hey, 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 hey. All right. So from there, we move into Earth orbit. There. There goes. That's Saturn. Fired successfully. Okay. So now we have to survey. We have to survey the solar radiation here. So here we go. We have the one outcome. Success! Yay! Our survey. Survey says solar radiation. Let's see what it is. No significant radiation. All right. All right. There we go. Now, it's going to take us 3 years to actually, sorry, we're going, I did this in the wrong order. But neither here nor there. I'm thinking we're turning right instead of going, my bad, into lunar orbit. I know. So there go the Atlas rockets, fired off successfully. There. And now we survey. So, technically we shouldn't have done that yet. I apologize. We're surveying here. So here we go. Let's survey the moon. And we have, it's the moon. There we go. All right. We have successfully revealed the Mars location. Hey, we're on the board, guys. You know what? I think that deserves congratulations, NASA. Well done. It took us a little bit on the math, but well done. All right? All right. Awesome. So now, to get back, I'm one ahead, actually. We're actually back over there now. And now it's going to take us 3 years to make it to Mars. Leroy Jenkins. All right. So that ship is done. We still have $10 million to spend. This is exciting. I am excited. I'm legitimately excited. All right. Well, now what do we do? Okay. So we know we're going to be able to do this. We already got the other one. So we have to start working on Phobos and getting a man onto the moon. Okay. So let's start working on man on the moon, shall we? Phobos is going to take us a while, though, too. We probably ought to get that going first. That's a longer trip. Let's start focusing on that. So what do we need to do, right? So we're going to have to be able to, we're going to have to land and re-entry. Okay? So, and life support, because we need to get a man on the moon, right? So we really aren't going to worry about rendezvous. So the others we are going to. So the priority is going to be landing, I think. So we're going to go ahead and get landing over here. That's going to be the 10 million. There. That's 3 outcomes. It says so. See, 1 outcome, 3 outcomes. Reading. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's a good point. So let's move this over to Mars flyby, and we have 3 years before we can do anything. And the Junos are burnt, technically. Yes. Good call. There we go. Just help me remember to pull those off every year, okay? Okay. Yeah, I'm more concerned with getting this going to Phobos. So here we go. Yep, exactly. We need all three of those. So we are broke. We got landing. We're broke. Okay, so we're going to need the Vostok, which is going to require re-entry, but neither here nor there. Here we go. We're into 64, 25 million. It's a new year. One of those comes off. Still can't do anything with it. Okay. So we have 25 million. We need re-entry we're going to need for sure because we need to be able to get the, I think all we need is a Vostok, right? For both missions, both to the moon as well as to Phobos, right? So actually, that's a fair point. Let's back it up before I do anything else. Before that, we're technically here. That's right. Gustav has a good point. That's right. So let's hold on. We don't have that yet. Ye of little faith. We do have the 3 Junos. So it's 63 still. We backed it up. So before that actually happens, we have the 3 Junos that we're going to fire. That's a good point. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one first. 1. One, 3, 4, 6. Oh, actually, technically, hold on. That didn't happen. I apologize. That's right. Getting ahead of myself. Sorry. Hold on. It's really hard to do this with 3 cards. So hold on. There we go. There. So we got the first one done. We'll do the second one now. There. Because we're not paying to remove them. That's right. Boom. What? There we go. Now they fired successfully. Okay. Sheesh. All those Junos. Now we're going there. Now we're in 64. We'll get rid of one of those. Boy, you guys are sticklers. There we go. 25, we're in 64. At the end of the year. Okay. So not at the beginning, but at the end of the year, right? Yeah. There you go. So no, I'm gonna keep the landing. We're good. I'm happy with that. So we're into 64 now. Okay. So we have 25 million. Bite your tongue, Joseph. Bite your tongue. All right. So we are successfully off for the Mars survey. Now, you know what? There's one thing I need to look up. I want to make sure I get right. That's right. I do only need a probe for the collecting on for the sample. And on Phobos, I don't need to worry about no, I do need, yeah, I need landing, but that's it. Okay. Okay. All right. Y'all are just mean. Ah, thank you. Yep. There we go. All right. So landing, we do want to test our, okay, so let's back up. For Phobos, we need to launch a probe, and we do need to be able to land on Phobos. So we need landing, but we want to test landing before we actually get there. Yeah, we do. So we have these Junos, and we have the, we need reentry for the Vosta, yeah. I love that there's a 2.6% chance there's still a failure in there after 9 successes. No, I think you do, Yanni. Hold on. Now, for collecting, must be on a solid body. Working probe, capsule, or astronaut lets you collect a sample. Take the sample card, add it to your spacecraft. If the location lets you collect supplies, you may do so. So yeah, no, that's what I need. So I do need one. Okay. So that ship is off and sailing. So we're going to move that one up here. So that guy is there, okay? Those are still available. So we want to get a Phobos off and going. And let's go and get the lander. We'll leave that for, this is more. Yeah, let's go with that one. Okay. So we have to get to Phobos and get home. Okay? Seriously, Omar, you ain't lying. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is land on Earth, right? The reentry, which is 0. So we need to get into Earth orbit. To get into Earth orbit, we need to come from, so it's going to go there, there, there. So the last step is going to get into Earth orbit. See if we can get this one right. All right, to get here, the only payload we need at that point, correct me if I'm wrong, is the probe, correct? So to get into from here, Earth orbit is going to be difficulty of 5, and the payload to get at Earth orbit, no, hold on. For the probe, we have to be able to land it, don't we? Or not land it, but we have to, we don't want it to burn up. So the reentry we have to do with the Vostok, actually. Yeah, it's... These two are also in play. Okay, but those are the two that are not the goals. I mean, they are the goals, but here, I'll just keep them right there as kind of... Okay, there you go. Take care, Franny. I just didn't want to bet on us finding ET there. Okay. So to be able to get back to Earth for re-entry, because it does have to land, or the landing doesn't, but the re-entry does matter to get back into Earth, because we have to do so successfully to be able to get the sample back on. Oh, good point. Yeah, Okay. So I don't need to worry about that. So that's going to be a payload of 1. Make sure I'm not screwing that up. Which, that says, difficulty of 5, payload of 1. That's going to be an Atlas. And an Atlas is going to be a weight of 4 for a total of 5. So that gets us here, which actually gets us here. So then coming backwards from Phobos, how do we get onto Phobos? That is going to be a difficulty of 1. And that's going to be difficulty of 1, but we need a payload of 5. Oh, shoot, it has a sample. I forgot that it's got mass. You're right. So that's going to be a mass of 2, which is 6. At least I only screwed up one thing so far. So 5, that's going to be 2. Oh, really? It's going to require 2 atlases. Boo. Okay. Then to come in from Mars orbit is going to be a difficulty of 1 with a payload of 6, which is going to be 2 Junos. Which that's going to be 2, which is going to be 8. And then to get into Mars orbit is going to be difficulty of 5. Which is going to be a Saturn. And a Saturn is a weight of 20. So we're now here, which then to get there is going to be to get into Earth orbit, which is going to be 5. Difficulty of 5 and 28 is going to be 2 Saturns. Oh boy, this is going to be a heavy puppy. I know this is where rendezvous comes in, but I'm not going to. And then to get off the ground is going to be, to launch is a difficulty of 3. So 3 and 68 is going to be 2 Saturns. Oof. Yeah, I know, I'm looking at that. Shoot. I think I'm going to have to rendezvous. That means I got to get all of them. But I think it ends up being cheaper than buying all those rockets. Because if my math is right on this, that's what it would end up being. Right there. It'd be 5 Saturns, 2 Atlases, and the Junos I already have. Huh. Maybe we do rendezvous. All right. Fine. Let's go ahead. I'm just worried that after our luck with the Junos, or, you know, so there, we'll get our 3 outcomes. 1, 2, 3. Pay the 10 million. There we go. Okay. so we just need to get the probe up now, right? And we're just going to have it hang out in Earth orbit. Okay. Yeah, so let's do it. So to get in there is going to be let's see. All right. So to get into Earth orbit, it's going to be a difficulty of 5 and then a difficulty of 3. So okay. So all we have to do is just get it here and let it hang out. So it's going to have a weight or a payload mass of 1 for the probe. That's it. So difficulty of 5, so that's going to be an Atlas rocket. And an Atlas is going to be 4. So there, so difficulty of 3, weight of 5, that would be an Atlas. All right, take care, Gustav. Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong, since you guys obviously are better at this math than I am. To be able to get just the probe up into Earth orbit, all it's going to require is 2 Atlases, and that covers it perfectly, correct? Because if so, then we'll go ahead and launch that bad boy and get that up there now. And let it just hang out. And an Atlas, that's 10 million. Or 2 of them, I should say. They're 5 million apiece. And then I got to get a probe, which is going to be 2 million as well. So that leaves me 3. All right, going back through what Yanni wrote, I do the math first from Earth to Mars orbit for return. You mean Phobos? I got you. Mars orbit, right, for the return. Then the math to get everything from Earth to Phobos for the first leg. I'm confused. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying load up the Saturn, get everything up there. Oh, I see what you're saying. I guess that would be more efficient, wouldn't it? Okay. All right. So let's do the math. So, oh, you're saying to get it to Mars orbit, and then just leave everything here, just send the probe down and back up, and have everything docked here. That probably makes more sense. Okay. All right, take care, Andreas. That makes a lot more sense. All right. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Fine. Yep. All right. So we want to get to here. However, we also need, okay, let's figure out the last, oh boy. Woo. All right. From Mars orbit down to Phobos and back. I'll figure that out first. So, that's going to be the probe to get there. It's going to be a difficulty of 1. And it's going to have, let's work backwards, right? To be able to get back up into Mars orbit is going to be a difficulty of 1. I keep screwing this up. Sorry, guys. Okay. So that's a difficulty of 1. It's going to come back with the Phobos sample and the probe, which is a payload of 2. So 1 in a Juno can have so 1 Juno. And the rocket mass is going to be 1. So we're good. So that's going to be 3 to get it into Mars orbit. But to get it down there is going to be a difficulty of 1. This is going to be only the probe and the Juno. So that's going to be 2. So that's also going to be another Juno. Okay. Oh, it's a fair point. But it's 6 1/2 dozen of the other. It's going to be 1 Juno regardless, both directions. 1 there and 1 back. So whether I leave the probe there or not doesn't matter. And just send yeah. Okay. 6 1/2 dozen of the other. But the fact is, I need to calculate that I need to have 2 Junos when I get up there as a part of this. So then, to be able to get into Mars orbit is going to be a difficulty of 5, which is going to require the 2 Junos and the probe for a weight of 3 to get there. Difficulty of 5, weight of 3 would be 2 Atlases. Which that's going to be 8 weight. So that gets me here. Or to there, as it were, coming from there. So then from Earth orbit, it's going to be 5. With 11, that's going to be a Saturn. And the weight on the Saturn is going to be 20. So we're now at 31. And this is to get into suborbital, which is going to be a difficulty of 3 of 31. So that's going to be another Saturn. Okay. So, double check my math. Make sure I'm right, guys. So, to get our probe all the way to Phobos and back up to Mars orbit, it's going to require this to get there. So 2 Saturns, 2 Atlases, and 2 Junos to get there. All right? Make sure that's right. Oh no, the Saturns and Atlases are completely tested. Surveying is completely tested. Landing's not tested yet. Rendezvous is not tested yet. And the Junos were extensively tested, but we didn't get rid of any of the outcomes. Right. Did I go too far? No, I did, right? Let's see. Gets off the ground, goes up 3, goes up 5, goes out to 5, down to Phobos 1, and back to 1, and it gets me there. So that's where so I have the flight going from here to there, and back. That's what that is. Then we can rendezvous. We can rendezvous another ship. Do I need to? Take care, Luke. No, I did it. I did it with 3 Saturns. I paid the 45,000 or 45 million with 3 Saturns. That's why it's all the way to 64 right now. So let me see. If I were to go, that would be another 5. Nah, I'd get prohibitively. I could do it. Nah, that's just carrying too much weight. I think that's what we launched with. So what all do we need? We have the 2 Junos. We need 2 Atlases and 2 Saturns. So that's going to be 30. It's 40. All right, we're going to purchase 2 Atlases for 10. We already have the Junos, so let's get that ready. We got the probe, the 2 Junos. The next stage is 2 Atlases, and now we need 2 Saturns. And we have 3 million left over, and the 3 million feels wasted. We still don't have re-entry. Not going to bother with the Eagle or the Aldrin. You know what? Let's do this. Instead of buying Rendezvous yet, we're going to buy re-entry, research re-entry instead, with the same 3 outcomes. We haven't looked at them anyways. And the reason is, this way we can go ahead and purchase with our 3 million of O stock. I feel like that's a better use of our money right now. So it's the end of the year. One of those will come off. This is close to being able to launch, but not yet. We're good. So we waste $1 million, but so be it. So that goes away. We go into 65. We get our 25 million back, funding for the year. I suppose I could have, here, I'll buy a Juno with the extra $1 million. So there we go. That way it's not wasted. Okay, so we need a Saturn for 15 million. And that's going to launch next year because I can't afford another one. So now that we got that, we might as well get testing on some of this stuff. So while we got it, now for landing, what do we need? My brain's fried apparently. What do we need to test landing? We should just need not for re-entry, but for landing, right? we should be able to just throw some rockets up. Because if so, we got the landing. We got the 10 million. We will need the rendezvous at some point, I realize. We also do need to, yeah, we do need to do that. So this can't launch yet. But the one for Mars, oh, wait. Yeah, we have re-entry. So here. There we go. So we're going to fire up a Juno. So the Junos are going to be top to bottom, 1 through 6. So 1. There we go. It's a success for the Junos. Yeah, exactly. That's okay. So those are shuffled. So successfully made it up. So that, or yeah, hold on. There we go. That is here. That made it up to, oh wait, it's a weight of 3, shoot, 3 and, oh, I can't do it. I need an Atlas. I can't do it with the Junos, can I? Because to be able to get up to suborbital is 3, and it has a weight of 3, so it's going to have to be with an Atlas. That's right. So hold on. I'm getting that. Really? Oh, wait a minute. We can do it with anything. Hold on one second. God. Hold on. If we did it with the probe, because this hasn't launched yet, if we did it with the probe, that would be a weight difficulty of 3 with 3 Junos. And this way we can keep our money. Let's do that. Here. So we're going to fire all 3 Junos with that probe to get it up there. We already drew 1. There we go. Yeah. And 6 is going to be the bottom one. Success. Now we got 1 more. All right. Okay, so 5, that's this one. There we go, another success. So we'll shuffle those up. Okay, so now these 3 Junos fired, successfully made it up into suborbital, and we're going to try re-entry. Sorry, landing. Landing, sorry. So landing. 4, this one. Success. Landing seems important. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. There we go. So we'll leave those for landing. We're out of money. So we successfully made it back down to Earth and tested the lander. I think that's the end of the year. So that comes off at the end of the year. 66 is going to be a big year for us, guys. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of dragging my feet, hoping that we find life on Mars. Not going to lie. Okay? Not going to lie. 25 million. Here we go. We've done our Mars flyby, so we are going to now survey Mars. So surveying, where to go? There you go. Is going to be an auto success. So make sure I'm not, you know what? Let me look at my little play rate here. Yeah, here we go. We're going to survey Mars. Valuable minerals, sample to Earth for $50. Oh, that'd be helpful. That'd be nice. But, okay. Hey, we surveyed Mars. You know what that means, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well done. Well done, everybody. All right. Hey, 9 points. There we go. Okay. And that's just that's going to go away at the end of the year. It'll be lost. It'll be space junk. But you know what? Did a hell of a good job. I will say that. Okay. We need to purchase another Saturn rocket to get that going. That's going to be $15 million, which gets us $10 million back. Another Saturn rocket. Do we launch it with the probe? And then we could test the landing again, I suppose. Hey, Felix. You know what? We need to get this going. So yeah, let's get that probe up there. She is ready to launch. Okay. And 3, 2, 1, go. So it's going to make it up here. That is the first one. The second one up to there. Then it's making it to Mars orbit, which is going to be no radiation. It's going to be 3 of these, 1, 2, and 3, which will be these guys, the Atlases. It's kind of nice that I don't have to guess on those. That's gone. This is up in space now. We have 10 million left. I'm not too worried about the man on the moon. We only need 2 years. We could actually do that 74, 75 to get them there and back. So the Phobos is already off and running. So now what we need to focus on is we got to get reentry going. Landing still has these. Okay. So let's start working, figuring out our rendezvous to get that sample from Phobos back from Mars orbit back. Okay? Okay. So we need to make it to Earth orbit. So that is just that step, so that'll be Earth orbit. Difficulty of 5, so that gets us to there. We have to make it to Mars, which is 5 difficulty. There, so we end here. There. That's then we need Earth orbit, and then suborbital. So that's going to be 5 and 3. Okay. To get back to Earth orbit, we're going to need the probe comes back, which is going to be, the probe doesn't need to come back. I apologize, this one. All that does need to come back is that. So it's going to be a payload of 1. So 5 and 1 will be an Atlas, which Atlas has a weight of 4, which puts us at, to get into Mars orbit is going to be 5 and 5. Ugh. It's going to be a Saturn? Really? Ugh. So wasted. So be it. Saturn. Ugh. Or, wait, maybe 5. What is that? 2/5, huh? So 3 isn't enough. It's 4 and a, yeah, it's not enough. Well, be 4 atlases. It'd still be less, be more expensive, but it would be less weight. No, let's stick with it. So that'll be 25. Earth orbit 5 and 25. Ooh, maybe we do. Because that would only be 16, that'd be 21. Yeah, I think we need to. Oh, boy. I'm regretting not having those Soyuzes now. Take care, Compy. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to do 3 atlases instead of the Saturn. 4 atlases. That extra weight is why, because that's going to be 16, that'll be 21 instead of 25. So 5 and 21 will be a Saturn and an Atlas. Which that would be 24 and 45. And 3 and 45, yeah, there you go. There we go. So this is to pick up our Phobos sample. Hey, Alan, this is just the base game. To pick up our Phobos sample, this is what we're going to be doing from Earth. A Saturn, then a Saturn and an Atlas, then 4 Atlases, and then a single Atlas to be able to get up there. Okay? So that's to pick that up once it makes it up there. Okay. So we have 10 million. We still gotta get both of those going, but we have plenty of time. I'm not worried about that. The 10 million, we need to buy a whole bunch of ships or a whole bunch of rockets. So I need 6 Atlases and 2 Saturns. Well, there's 2 of the Atlases. And that's that. All right, end of the year. This one is lost, forever gone. So the probe is gone. I'm going to put these over here so I don't forget. So landing, that was there. Okay. So that ship is now available. This is going to be part 2 of that. One of these comes off. We're into 67 now. 25 million there. Okay. Okay. So I have 2 of the 6 that I need. I need 4 more Atlases and 2 Saturns. You know what? I'm good with it. Yeah. It's going to take us 6 years. Need to be careful with this. Hold on. To be able to make it there and back, right? That's going to be 3 and 6 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm okay. Whew. Okay, so we're going to do a Saturn and 2 Atlases to get that. So there's the 4 Atlases that I need for stage 3. That's stage 1 there. I'll move this up so you guys can see it for this. And that's 25 million. So that's it for 67. We go back now into 68. That happens at the end of 67. Okay. So I have that. I have that. I need 2 more Atlases and a Saturn for this. There, there, and there. Stage 2. Stage 4. And that's literally all I need. So to be clear, I don't need the probe. Or I guess the probe's actually here, so I don't need to worry about that. So this can just launch to go up there, rendezvous, and then pick up the sample and come back. So this is on its way out to Phobos to pick it up. This will come out to then pick it up there. All right, she is ready to launch. I see no reason not to do so now. So 3, 2, 1, boom. First Saturn goes. Saturn and Atlas goes. Then into Mars orbit with those 4 Atlases. No, I'm one too far. That was to get it there. Sorry. The Atlases are to come back. So that's going to be 3 on that one. 1, 2, 3. For that one. So we have 2 years to be able to get rendezvous and tested. Okay? All right, I guess that's the end of the year. So this will go away, and this will go away. So we're into 69 now. Okay. Okay, 25 million back there, which I already spent, but you get the idea. All right. Okay. So this is going to fire. We have to check the outcome of one of the Junos. Right here, there, success. So that Juno fires, goes to Phobos. While it's there, it will pick up there. I'm being told you can leave the probe. So the probe will stay and go away then. And then we will fire to bring it back up there. And now that sample is hanging out waiting. Okay. So this is taking care of this one now. When this one arrives, it will rendezvous to then take that home. We have 25 million. Hold on, I need something to drink. Whew. Cup number 2. All right, time to pick up rendezvous now. So 20 million turns into 15, or turns into 10 million. We're going to get rendezvous. 1, 2, 3. I got to look up how to test that. Oh, good point. It's a good point. And, well, here's the thing. The Juno can handle 3 weight, so the probe can actually come back up here. So the probe's actually still here, technically. So there we go. Okay, so we will go ahead and test the rendezvous. Okay. So here we go. And we have 15 million left, so here we go. 6. Success. I was hoping it would fail, honestly. I don't know what to do. Do we pay? I don't know if I should remove it or not. I don't think I'm gonna. Nope, not gonna. So now, there we go. Okay, shuffle those back up. So there's rendezvous. All right, so we have 15 million. We still have to test landing and reentry more. So landing has 2. Let's go ahead and spend 3 million. Oh, shoot. You know what? We'll spend 5 million for the Atlas. And the Vostok to test landing. Oh, that's actually a good point. I forgot, because if it damages it, then it can't. Oof. Let me back up. Hold on. Let me back up before I buy that Atlas. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, so if that's the case, then I will continue. Yeah, that's right. You can re-rendezvous. That was page 30 in the update. That's right. Good call. So let's go ahead and keep doing that. So, good call, guys. 4 will be that one. This one? Oh, come on. Anybody counting? Yep. Okay, yep. We're going to call that a 1. So is anybody keeping track of how many this is? There we go. Whew. And that's why we test. So there's 5 million. No separation, but we can keep doing it. So we'll remove that one. That was worth it. damage chosen component, so that will be the probe. There you go. So technically, there. Appreciate that, Tim. So, this one. Okay, honestly, I'm good with that. I'm willing to not pay for the rendezvous to assume that both of those are going to be successes at that point. So getting back to this now. Okay. Glad you're enjoying it, Brandon. Thanks. Okay, we'll go one more. Now you guys made me paranoid. 5, which is going to be the top one here. Success. So yeah, I'm good with, I'm going to assume that both of those are a success for the rendezvous. I'm going to consider that tested. So now, okay. So we have 10 million. We need life support. Let's go ahead and do it. 3 outcomes. 1, 2, 3. All right. End of the year. This will go away. This will get... Oh. I'm not planning on doing that, Yanni. We're just going to get a guy to the moon and home and rendezvous that and bring that home. Yeah. So this repairs. Okay. We're into 70. 25 million. All right. Apparently, Omer, I didn't think so, but Joseph said yes. All right, take care, Joseph. All right. I think, so let's see, these are for that. I think Buzz Aldrin's going to be the one we bring on, okay? So that's going to, well, hold on, that's going to be last. So we have the Vostok, which is going to be the one that goes to the moon and back. Okay. The landing, we need to test landing and re-entry and life support first. Refresh my memory, how do you test life support? Yeah, the engineer is what made the most sense to me, Omer, I agree. So we have to test re-entry and landing. So why don't we do them both? Why don't we spend the 5 million for an Atlas, get the Vostok, let's go. Let's send it up. So the Atlas fires, goes up. And for re-entry, so 1, 2, 3, or 1 to 2, you get the idea. Middle one. For re-entry, Oh, wait. Oh, it falls down. That's only for landing, isn't it? Yeah, the living rules, I think, are online. Plus, there's updates on BGG. So hold on. Before I do that, hold on. Let me get that five. Hold on. Before I flip anything, hold on. Okay, life support. You got to have a capsule in space, test it without an astronaut on board. Have to test it before money resets at the start of a year. Must leave money aside from previous year to purchase failures. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have to get it into space. So suborbital would work, wouldn't it? Yeah, Graham, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think I have to make it up because I have to be able to get for re-entry. I got to get all the way up there. So hold on. Before I spend any money, let's figure that out. So to be able to get that back up, or all the way up there, it's got to be 5 then 3. 5 then 3. So, and it just falls. So I don't need anything other than that. So 5 and 2. Gah, really? So the Atlas can't quite make it. Right, I got to get 2 Atlases? Really? Oh, that's horrible. That's so gross. Which means 3 and 10. Which means really, it'd be cheaper. So I got to get 4 Atlases to get that up. Oh. Four Atlases. I got to spend $20 to test re-entry. But at least it'll hang up there. Okay. I have to. So there's $20 for 4 Atlases. Ah. That's so gross. Stage 1, stage 2. So let's get it out there. Fine. There's those. But I don't necessarily want to test it yet. So I'll go ahead and get Buzz now because I have the 5 million. So let's get him ready. So that's the end, almost, there. 1970 going in now to 71. Okay. This has made it back. Now rendezvous. Let's start there. We'll start with the rendezvous here to be able to hand the sample off to that ship to then turn back around and come back. So the rendezvous is going to be those, yeah, there you go. Right there. 1 through 3, 4 through 6. Rendezvous is a success. So that's going to fire and make it all the way home. Well, hold on. The rendezvous is successful. So we're going to bring it back to there. So now this and that will just hang out up there. There we go. So this guy is ready to come home once we're ready for re-entry testing. So we have 25 million. There's no huge rush on this, right? Need to make sure I'm not screwing anything up and rushing anything. So this is going to be for rendezvous there. Yeah, we did not, Elk. We failed the president. We did not. But he's okay with it because we made it all the way out to Phobos and we explored Mars, surveyed Mars and the moon. So I think he'll grant us a little grace there. Okay, let me look at the... Okay. Okay, done. Okay. So let me go through the testing of it and make sure. Oh, shoot, it does. You're right. Thank you. That's it. All right. Thank you for that, Yanni. I was like, wow, that seemed awfully quick, but you're right. So we have a little bit of time on that. Thank you. 1, 2, 3 to make it over. There we go. Good call. Okay. So while he's just en route, now we can go ahead and test this. But we do that at the end. Do I say, so here's the thing. Do I save the money for end of year testing? Researching, da-da-da-da. Okay. It'll save time, Yanni. So, in the rule book, it doesn't say anything about it has to be at the end of the year for reentry and life support. Not that I'm seeing, at least. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Oh yeah, Buzz isn't technically in space. Sorry about that. He's just waiting to go. Hasn't been tested yet. So there we go. Okay, so it's at end of year. So and it's a one shot. It's not unlimited, is it? I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring this up. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's a one shot, so yeah, right. Hold on. Buzz isn't in space. He was just near the card. Sorry about that. All right, let me see. Since the check happens at the end of the year, I played that the only way to remove failures is have 5 million left over after you've completed your turns. If you don't happen to draw a failure, that 5 million you set aside is basically evaporated. And to be clear, a probe and a capsule, you can only have one per ship. Or can you have multiple? Because if you can have multiple, because otherwise you can only do, it's costing me 20 million to send it up with 4 Atlas rockets. That seems insane to me. Well, I don't want to test it yet until, and then re-entry is also a one shot as well. So you can have multiple, right? Okay, let me back this up just a hair. Buzz isn't going to get hired yet. Instead, that's going to be this and that instead, and that will have gone up on that. Oh, but the weight. Oh, son of a. Hold on. Nope. It would be, oh, God. It would have. So 5 and 6. Let me see if I could even do that. I couldn't do it. Never mind. Buzz was hired. Check that. Doesn't matter. All right, screw it. God. Yeah, I think we're going to test it once, and that's that. Okay, so one re-entry we're going to test. And we're going to test one. I'll buy an Atlas because I'm going to need one. That's going to be 5 million. I have, you know what, better yet, instead of an Atlas, we'll buy a Saturn for 15. There. So that leaves us 10 million left over. Oh. All right, let's test it. It's coming home. Okay, so we have one re-entry. So here we go. Oh, minor failure on re-entry. Capsule's damaged, but that's why we have money left over. So that's going to be 5 million there to remove that. So there's the 2 on re-entry. And then we're going to test life support. Minor failure. That'll be 5 million. Got rid of that one. There we go. So at least used up our money well, I would say, with that. All right, so we're into 72, almost. Now we are. 25 million back. There we go. All right. So that flips over. Okay. And that landed. That came back. Okay. I know I need 10 million left over. That leaves me 15 million. I'll buy a Saturn for 15, leaving me 10. Oh, hold on. Nope. Check that. And we'll spend the 10 for 2 Atlases. That'll do. Into 73. I'm only going to take 15 million because we're going to buy 2 Atlases to go with those 2. We're going to send it up again. Bostock's getting a workout. Yeah, is the right thing. Yep, gonna do it. So we're gonna test re-entry again. 1 through 3, 4 through 6. Success. We're gonna leave it. So there's re-entry. Now we're gonna try test life support. 1 through 3, 4 through 6. We're going to leave it. So I wasted 10 million. Oh, I had 15. Shoot. If that were the case, my bad. Thought I only had 10. I will have bought an Atlas before I did that. So there at the end of the year, we're into 74. Okay. If Venus has no life, you only need 30. Oh. Ship sailed. We have feel pretty good about this. Oh, and this came back. All right, Buzz. Here we go. Let's start figuring this out. We got to get him to the moon and back. So to get into Earth orbit, oh, I need my 25 million. To get into Earth orbit here is going to be a difficulty of 3. To get into lunar orbit is going to be a difficulty of 2. So he's there, then he's there. To get to the moon is going to be a difficulty of 2. Then To get into lunar orbit is 3. To get into Earth orbit is 5. And to get into suborbital is going to be 3. Okay. So, we need one supply for sure for him to be able to have a man on the moon at the start of a year. So we're going to have, okay, so the Vostok is coming home with a payload of 2. So 3 and 2 is going to be an Atlas. That's going to be 4 weight. Then to get into lunar orbit is going to be 2 and 6, which is going to be another Atlas. Then to get onto the moon landing, we're going to have 1 extra supply. So that's actually going to be 11. So that's going to be 2 and 11. So that'll be an Atlas and 2 Junos. So that'll be 6. That'll be 17. Lunar orbit 317. Yep, that's going to be a Saturn. That's a good point. 2 and 12. All right. Yeah, we'll take a second supply. 2 and 12. So it'll be a Atlas and 3 Junos. Yeah, that'll work. So that'd be 7. So 7, that'll be 19. 3 and 19. It's going to be a Saturn. No way around that. So that's going to be 20. 39. Oh boy. Uh-oh. I'm glad I've loaded up. Okay. So, check my math. Yes, we are live streaming math homework. Exactly. All right. Oh, phew. All right. I didn't factor in Buzz, but there we go. So this is how I'm figuring it. 2 Saturns, another Saturn, an Atlas and 3 Junos, and then an Atlas and an Atlas to get Buzz home. Okay? So there we go. I don't know that we're going to have the money for the Eagle. Although, to be honest, you know what? It might actually be a whole lot lighter and cheaper if I do that. That's a good point. Take care, Brandon. All right, let's figure out the other way then, guys. Because this is the end of it, right? Okay. So it would be the same. 3, 2, 2, 3, 5, 3. Okay. So if we took the Eagle, because it's lighter, into lunar orbit, into Earth orbit, so 3, 5, and drop it right there. Okay, let's see. So we have Buzz and Eagle, so just Eagle to get there. and then swap it over with the Vostok there. I see what you're saying. So it'll add one more weight on that. So if the Vostok hangs out here, the extra one way, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it because I'm just going to drop it off there. So I have that and that. So I need 2, 3, oh shoot. Okay. So I have an Atlas and 2 Saturns. I need to buy 2 more Atlases. I can't afford it. Oh, son of a... I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't have enough money. Because he's got 50 bucks. I need 45, 50. I'm $8 short, 8 million short. Oh no. How can I do it? Okay, before we do anything else, let's just, because all this is moot if this burns up on re-entry. So let's go ahead and bring him home. Okay, so the lander's going to come in for re-entry. So let's start with that. So re-entry is this one here. Not going to test landing on that, just re-entry. 1, 3, 4, 6. Success. Made it. Boom. So that means this is returned home. So we're at 21 points now. Yay. Okay. No, didn't bring it back because we didn't land on Mars. We landed on Phobos. Wait a minute. We should have explored this. I forgot to flip it. Where were you guys with that? Oh, well. Phobos is hollow and metallic. Sample on Earth. Free advancement without outcomes or remove outcomes from advancements. Well, that would have been good to know. That would have saved us the money and we would have been able to afford it. Well, there's that. So that's 4. Did I math that wrong then? Oh, I guess that's a fair point, isn't it? The Soyuz is guaranteed See, oh, that, you know what? It's a good point. So now that we have the Soyuz, let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, so that might have saved my bacon. Let's see. Okay, so Earth orbit. To get there, we need difficulty of 3, and the only thing that's going to come in is the Vostok, and that's it. So that's going to be 3 and 2, so that's going to be an Atlas to get home. Atlas has a weight of 4. So the lunar orbit is going to be 2, and it's going to require 2 Junos. Yeah. No, it's more than that. No, it's not. All right. To get off the moon up to there, it's going to be yeah, so 2 and 6. That's going to be an Atlas. Okay, that'll probably be easier for me to, so 2 Atlases, right? That's what I see. 6 Junos, the Vostok, and the Eagle. Yes, I agree with that. Thanks, Robert. Take care. Six, 7, 8, 9. Oh, brain's fried. Sorry, guys. So 2 supplies. Okay. 10, 16, 17, 18, 19. Is that right? So 2 supplies, the Eagle, the Vostok, 6 Juno, and 8 Atlas total. So 10, 19. When I get here, I need 19. So that's going to be 519. So that'll be a Saturn. That might have saved me, because that's 1 less Saturn I need now. That's 39. And 339. It's 2 less Saturns. I think that that did it. No, I think maybe my math was just right. So to get into lunar orbit, we rendezvous, dropping off the Vostok there and everything else. The only stuff we're bringing onto the planet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. So I need 2 Saturns, which I have. So try this again. Getting ready to launch. We have Saturn 1. Saturn 2 gets us up. Then we need 2 Atlases. So there's 1. We need to buy an Atlas. So I'll just, here. I need 6 Junos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need the Eagle. And I think 1 more Atlas, right? Yes. There. So I'm pretty sure that's what I need. And 2 supplies. So that's going to be 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. $16 million. We have 25. It drops 4 off. So that gives me there. Here we go. Okay. I think that's right. So, if that's the case, since we're not using the Soyuz, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take life support. Right? Or is, no, not life support, the other one. Landing. We're going to get rid of the 2 landings for Phobos instead. So here we go. They were both successes, so be it. All right, let's launch. Saturn, Saturn. There we go. I guess technically it brings that up as well because of the 2. The Vostok. So I need the Atlases for the way home. No, right. Do it this way. Need them for this. So there. Yeah, actually everything goes with the Eagle. Eagle comes down. We have the 2 supplies. It'll use 1 at the end of the year, so get rid of that one. The Vostok is hanging out up there, so I guess technically the Eagle has landed. There's those. Oh, I think I may have bought 1 too many. So be it. But this is the end of it. When Buzz went up through here, explore. Uh-oh. Here we go. Roll a die per astronaut. A 1 through 3, Buzz is incapacitated. That'd be a sick joke. All right, yeah, Buzz went. My bad. Whew. Here we go. Oh, one time. Incapacitated isn't dead, though. Right? Right? He didn't have to walk. He just had to physically be there. He made it. I'm looking at that up here. Here we go. Okay, 24. Oh, that's right, yeah. If an astronaut becomes incapacitated, turn him face down. He must be healed before the end of the year or he will die. Well, $16, $25, $37. $16, $9, $25, $37. There it is. Oh, I guess we can't. We don't have the money to relaunch next year. We're not going to be able to afford it. So yeah, we're going to bring him home. We have to. So he comes back home. Don't have to worry about life support, but we do have to. Landing's fine. Oh no, life support we do have to check at the end of the year. And sorry, landing's, that's re-entry. So re-entry, first off. Good. There, there, there. So he makes it back. So we claim those two. No, I hear you guys, but the problem is we can't afford enough. So we have 9 million. We're not going to be able to afford getting there. So okay. So I guess the supplies actually weren't used, were they? Okay, so I see what you're saying. So hold on. So the supplies are there. The Volstock is up there. The Eagle is up there. No, the Volstock had to come back. Sorry. So, yeah. So those two are back now. So we need, again, 6 Junos and 2 Atlas and 2 Saturns. Yeah, the problem is I can't afford the Saturns, guys. I need 2 Saturns since that's 30 million. We only have 9. We can't get it. We can't get him to the moon and have him spend the night. That's it. I'm not seeing how the math works out. Oh, that's a good point. So back it up, right? No, but the problem is I still... Okay. When he reaches suborbital, okay, he became incapacitated, right? So here. This is going up like this. So oh, well, hold on. Hold on. So let's get everything that I had there and there. So we burn 1 Saturn to get off of Earth. Done. He becomes incapacitated. We come back to Earth. We don't burn anything. Anything other than that. Okay. All of that. So if that's the case, we burned 1 Saturn, made it to there, and came back, and we already had the re-entry. That's a good point. So all we have to do is buy a Saturn for next year. Okay, all right. I guess it's not over. I apologize. I jumped the gun. You're right. Okay. So you know what we can do? We have $9 left? 9 million? No. There you go. So you know what? We're going to get an Apollo and Mike Collins for 9 million. So instead of the Vostok, the Apollo is going up. And I don't think that changes the math any because the one won't make a difference. And this way, the extra he can heal buzz. I'm good with that. So if that's the case, 9 million's gone. Can it? A difference of 1? I don't think it does. We're into 75. Buy the Saturn for 15. Okay. Two Saturns, 2 Atlases, and 6 Junos. 2 Saturns, 2 Atlases, and 6 Junos. Because the Apollo is not making it past Earth orbit. Okay. Good, good. And the Atlases can hold 27 apiece. Oh, it's not even close, so I'm totally fine with that. So if that's the case, there we go. Well, now, as long as wouldn't it be funny if the Junos did blow up? All right. So we launch. Saturn goes. Gonna roll for Buzz first. Incapacitated. Well, as long as Mike doesn't. Okay, Mike can heal Buzz. So he's fine. Makes it up to here now. Disconnects. Eagle comes over. Lands. End of the year. We have to do life support. 1, 3, 4, 6. Success. Supply goes away. We come home. That goes the life support. It launches back off. So it has, so that's the Eagle that landed. So technically the Eagle is there, there, there. And there left. Those are gone. Nope. And that. Sorry. There we go. Take end of the year. Takes off. Go. Boom, boom. Re-entry. One, 3, 4, 6. Success. Splashdown. We won. I'm worn out. I didn't get a chance to show it because we didn't blow any up, but I had this already. We didn't blow any up. It was ready for the Junos. It never happened. We had some minor ones, but that's it. So we won. We failed President Kennedy's directive. I understand that. But we did win. We did succeed. So just for, I guess, final accounting here. We agreed that it was 100 points. 48 were left over, which means we got 52. All right, Matt, you're right. You're right. Hold on. This actually seems appropriate. We actually have to check the Junos. So here, let's just do it together, shall we? Here's 1. Success. Here's 2. Success. 3. Success. So we got it. So let's see. Okay. So there's the Junos. The life supports. The rendezvous. That's everything that was left. We had nothing but successes left. So there we go. Whew. Wow. That was fun. That was a blast. Yeah, I wouldn't have enjoyed it nearly as much. In fact, I didn't, except with you guys here. Previously, I'm saying on my previous plays. I feel like that was a team effort. So well done, Peanut Gallery. Couldn't have done it without you. The thing that trips me up is it's simple math. It really is. But let me show you guys this. So the thing that trips me up is having to work backwards of, like, for instance, let me clear some of these off so make it clear. Is okay. Let's say we're just going to the moon and back, right? You have to get back to this place. So to get back here, you need to hit the 3 difficulty, then the 2 difficulty, then going the other way, 2 difficulty, then the 3 difficulty, and then adding in the weight of the rockets that you're bringing with you. That's the part that makes this game difficult, for me at least, is keeping that straight, even though, I mean, you guys saw what a disaster this sheet had become by the end of this. Keeping that straight, okay, what weight am I bringing with me on each step of it? It is exhausting. But it's also thematic and it's exciting, right? Any of these solo games like this that I've played on the stream, I've enjoyed for that aspect of it. I've never played this multiplayer, but I've heard, take it for a grain of salt, that a lot of people say it's best solo. I enjoyed it a lot. It was solo, but not, right, with you guys there. I wouldn't have enjoyed this as much if you guys weren't here with me. In fact, like I said earlier, I didn't enjoy it as much. It's far less random than a lot of the other solo games that I've played previously, so I like that aspect. But and somebody had mentioned it way, way earlier, that this is much more of a puzzle than a game per se. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, just know what to expect going in, right? So I'm reading chat here. Yanni says, to make things easier, I always make it a priority to have a standard vehicle to get payload to orbit efficiently. So it is ship to orbit parts, assemble what's needed, that's easier. And Daniel says, I've always found that although it plays great solo, I much prefer it as a 2 or 3 player game because the race has more tension and you really have to decide where to focus your risk mitigation. Okay. So, yes, I played a co-op with you guys with the Peanut Gallery. That is a true statement. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed it, like I said, as a co-op. Believe it or not, I actually really, really did. But yeah, I think having a standard shuttle vehicle back and forth to be able to be what you need. I think for the solo game, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think what Yanni says has a lot of merit there. But I also feel like there's a lot less stress in a solo game as opposed to a multiplayer, because in a multiplayer, first one to get it gets it, right? Whereas in solo, okay, I can kind of diversify, go for this, go for that, go for this, and I know I'm going to get it or I'm not, in a sense that either time's going to run out. I'm not racing against anything other than the 20 turns. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I would love to try this multiplayer, competitive, not co-op. And Scott says co-op's easiest, so okay. And We Mandando, multiplayer can be interesting. We've had very competitive games, but then also very cooperative games where everyone was sharing tech and we had space planes flying to our lunar bases by the early 60s. So that's cool. There you go. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it was a enjoyable way to spend an afternoon with you guys, so thank you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know how much value people will get from this. Entertainment value, sure, playing along and you know, doing all that. But I struggled so badly with the math in parts to where, and there's a million of these videos out there already, but I enjoyed it. I had fun, and hopefully y'all did. Yanni says, try the variant next time. Reveal all the easy missions at game start. When a mission is claimed, reveal a new one of the easiest remaining level. That So hurry up and get a easy one done and see what else you can go. I dig that. I think that would be cool. See, and that to me is a little bit exciting, a little bit more exciting there. Okay, there we go. Reusable rockets, which make this standard vehicle much simpler. I think that would make the enjoyment of the game. Apparently, one of the expansions. So I have. Well, I say I. By the way, thank you to Khan, one of my buddies here locally. This is his copy. I don't have a copy of the game, and so Outer Planets, which is up there. I assume that's one of the expansions, and that has reusable rockets. I think that would help remove some of the mental gymnastics that don't really add anything to the game. I think that would help. But yeah, overall, enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys, I'm throwing dice everywhere. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like and subscribe down below. Support the show over on pledgehc.com. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Hopefully you guys did too. I will be back Friday evening with Madeira. We're actually going to be playing that here in a couple hours tonight here locally to get ready for our stream Friday night of the Madeira expansion. So hopefully you guys join us for that at 7 p.m. on Friday. And then BIOS Origins on Sunday at noon. It's going to be a good weekend. So, all right. Cool. All right. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks everybody who joined me. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for helping me enjoy this as well. So take care. I'll see you guys later. Good night, everybody.